Yes, everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Howson, and this is 5 things that we learn as Manchester United beat Everton 3-1 at Goodison Park. Yesterday was massive for Manchester United, and particularly for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and they put on a brilliant team performance, and it felt like, to me, that they were fighting for the manager, which is good to see and a good sign. Angry Solskjaer blasted the authorities, and I'm assuming the Premier League and the TV companies, for setting United up to fail in his post-match interview due to the match scheduling. But he showed plenty of character as well in his team selection and the way the team set themselves about going and getting the 3 points yesterday at Goodison Park. It marked 7 wins on the bounce in the Premier League, which just makes you think where United could be if that form was able to be replicated at Old Trafford. There were spells in the game, I thought, where Everton were pushing, and obviously the goal that they scored was weak, and it was the ability of Calvert-Lewin and Everton to isolate Victor Lindelof and win the header over him. United probably could have dealt with the afters, but they didn't, and Everton managed to get their noses in front. But it was good to see how United reacted. United are now entering the international break with a complete opposite mood to what we saw after the defeat to Spurs just a month ago. Number 2, fantastic Fernandes. I thought Fernandes was just hair underneath Fred for man of the match, but his output was fantastic. When you talk about delivering your goals, your assists, your big important things, Bruno Fernandes absolutely delivered. But I thought his attitude was fantastic yesterday against Everton. And arguably his attitude, his feistiness, his willingness to get into the physical was what lifted Manchester United. He completed 22 final third passes, took 6 shots with 3 on target, made 4 ball recoveries, 3 tackles, scored twice and got an assist. The guy is absolutely incredible. There is no stopping that headed opener, and the delivery which ended up in the back of the net was superb as well, even though I thought Marcus might have... Oh, he did something getting it in there, didn't he? And for his assist, I thought he'd held on to it too long. I thought he'd kept hold of it, and I thought he was about to shoot himself, but he laid off a nice little ball there for Cavani. In 21 Premier League appearances, Fernandes has now been directly involved in 22 goals. People may say that he's a penalty merchant, but 17 of those goals have been away from the penalty spot. And you think that's impressive? Fernandes has scored more goals with 13, more non-penalty goals with 7, and registered more assists with 10 than any other Premier League midfielder since making his debut in the competition. Fernandes takes Manchester United to another level. Number 3, Captain Maguire. Now, I wouldn't say Harry Maguire was man of the match yesterday by any means, but he did his job to a very good standard at Goodison Park. Maguire won 100% of his tackles, which is a good place to start. He maintained an 86% passing accuracy, won 4 aerial duels, 7 clearances, 4 ball recoveries, made 1 interception and committed 0 fouls. He should have probably won a penalty, but we're not going to get into that. It wasn't anything spectacular, and oftentimes you don't really need your defenders to be doing anything spectacular, and actually if you go unnoticed with your defence, it's probably a good thing, particularly if they can keep a clean sheet, and I know we didn't in this instance, but if they can keep clean sheets and you don't notice them, then that's absolutely fantastic. Maguire was probably the most assured in the back line as Lindelof had a tough time with Dalbert Calvert-Lewin in the air. Luke Shaw was getting dragged around by James, as we noticed in the build-up to the game that was likely to happen, and it was only the covering of Fred which managed to stop a catastrophe there, and even Wan-Bissaka was getting dragged out of position by the nature that Everton like to line up. It feels like when he looks solid, the whole defence around him grows in confidence. And I think he just needs to find a little bit more consistency with his performances, and he will no longer be the talking point. And he can probably put what happened in Greece behind him and concentrate on putting in good performances for his club. Number 4, Fred performs again. I don't think there's many people that would disagree with Fred being awarded man of the match. He was phenomenal. He was covering people, filling in gaps in the defensive line when needed. He was aggressive. He was tenacious. He was cocky at times. And he was physical as much as Fred can be physical. I thought he showed a vast improvement in his game in the last season. He's currently performing at the highest level I think he's had since he joined United. And I actually think he's probably one of the reasons why Paul Pogba can't get in the team. He took 77 touches in total, kept a 91% pass accuracy, made 28 forward passes from midfield and created 2 big chances, including one with a through ball. He also made 6 ball recoveries, 1 interception, won 2 tackles and suffered a foul as he helped win the midfield battle against tough opposition with Doucouré and with Allen. Fred isn't quite operating like a £50 million purchase, and maybe he never will, but he's becoming a crucial part of what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs and probably wants from his midfield. He's almost like the heartbeat of this entire midfield, and much like when Harry Maguire at the back plays with confidence and those mistakes kind of get eliminated, when Fred has a good game in midfield, it seems to translate into the rest of them. We've seen some real clangers from Fred when he's been trying to play in the number 6 position, losing the ball at really inopportune moments. But there's times when Fred does the simple stuff and he looks for the players that he knows are more creative, that he knows are higher quality when they're in possession. And when he has that sort of game where he just goes about putting the most amount of sweat into his shirt as possible, then you get a real footballer out of Fred. And I thought yesterday he was a clear man of the match for Manchester United. One of the major reasons why Manchester United managed to pick up all 3 points at Goodison. And long may he and this form continue. Number 5, it's time for some consistency. One of the biggest themes when analysing Manchester United at the moment is the word consistency. United have looked like a serious force away from home in the Premier League for months, but we have failed to replicate that success on home soil. And I'm not sure why. I don't think the no fans at Old Trafford can be really used as a reason for that, as it's probably coincidental, but it's annoying. Regardless of what the answer is, it's annoying, and that's something that needs fixing seriously. The tricky fixtures don't really stop for Manchester United after the international break. We got West Brom visiting Old Trafford. We've got Southampton, who are in fantastic form at the moment. West Ham, who are proving themselves to be a bit of a pain in the arse for everybody. And then we've got the first Manchester derby of the season. It's a run of games that have got a variety of different challenges and a variety of issues that United have struggled to overcome in recent years. West Ham being one that I think that's a place that we could lose points for some reason. And even with the win this weekend, United still sit in 14th. And we've lost as many as we've won. It now would be a perfect time to start a positive run. One of the runs that we've seen Ollie do. Runs where we just stack up win after win after win. Change our fortunes, especially at Old Trafford. Climb up the table and be where this club belongs. If we've ridden out that early lack of pre-season issue and we've started to see the likes of Cavani, the likes of Van der Beek, the likes of Telles brought into the squad, then I think you'll see Manchester United start really collecting the points and turning the screw and turning up places and winning 3 points. And if we do all of those things, the league position will change and people will relax. Let's see if we can do it. Right then, there's been loads of you guys joining the Patreon group of late. If you're interested in what sort of benefits you can get, what's going on, why are people joining it, all that sort of stuff, the link for that will be down in the description below. They got extra content coming, little hangouts and little vlogs. And as soon as we're allowed, we'll be getting on with the planning of those meetups. And I think Dublin is likely to be the first spot for those. If you want to know what all that's about and come and join the absolutely wild community that we've built, then check the link in the description. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Laters.